Trust is one of the hardest things to build in a relationship. It is something that requires a lot of energy from both parties, and it's something that requires both parties to be able to communicate in a way that the partner feels secure within the relationship. I would say the first thing you have to be is honest. You have to be honest and transparent. You have to be able to provide the partner with information that may hurt their feelings or may be destructive to the relationship. And the thing about doing that, though, is the partner may be mad, may be upset, maybe want to break up with you, but they will respect the fact that you were able and willing to provide information that they knew was going to be hard for you to provide. So even if it's bad, I want my partner to tell me when there's a problem or there's some type of issue. Even if it's going to hurt my feelings, even if I'm going to be mad at her, I want to know because I have respect for you when you're able to tell me something difficult. That takes courage and it shows respect for me. You have enough respect for me to give me the truth instead of hiding something, So being honest and transparent are big. And I really think that's the foundation to building trust. Second, I would say is being consistent and being a person of integrity and living up to your word. When you say you're going to do something, get it done. Don't say you're going to do something and then not do it. That shows that just shows you lack any type of integrity. It just shows that you don't have the ability to be a man or be a grown woman and live up to the things that you say. And that's big. That's big. I can't trust you with certain things. If I need to go away for work, if I need to travel for work, I need to be able to trust that you can handle things at home. And when you say you're going to do something and then not do it, then I'm stressing out because I'm like, I gotta go, but I don't know if this woman's gonna do what I told her to do. So I'm having to micromanage. I'm having to walk behind you like you're a child and make sure that you do what I asked you to do. And this goes both ways, not just men having to do this, women as well. Nobody wants to have to walk behind you to make sure that you get things done. We want you to act your age and do things when you say that you're going to do them. So being consistent is huge, um, from the standpoint of building trust within a relationship. Another thing, the third thing I would say is boundaries. Do not cross boundaries. If I tell you not to do something, don't do it. You know, if you cross boundaries that I have put in place, it shows a lack of respect for me. It tells me that you don't respect me. It tells me that he clearly asked me not to do something, but I'm gonna do it anyways because I don't care about what he says. And that is one of the biggest things that will lead to the end of a relationship, especially from the point of view of a man. We live off of respect and loyalty. So if you cross those boundaries of respecting us, we almost feel like it's an attack. And we don't want to put up with people that don't respect us, whether it's friends, whether it's in the streets, whether it's in sports. Definitely not in a relationship will we want to put up with disrespect. So this is most important for women. Women are more likely to deal with disrespect, but men will cut that out instantly. We'll move on. We'll start doing things like messing with other girls because you obviously don't respect us as a man. So it's almost like an attack to our core. So do not cross boundaries. Work on respecting each other's boundaries, even when you feel like it's the right time to cross the boundary. You feel like you have the right. And a perfect example of this is going through somebody's phone. You know, if you ask me, hey, can I look at your phone? And I give you the green light to look at my phone, then that's okay. But to be sneaky about it, to wait till somebody goes to sleep to try to look through their phone, that is an invasion, that's a violation of somebody's privacy. And everybody is deserving of a little bit of privacy. Even within a relationship, I should still have privacy to certain things. That just because we're together, that does not mean the door is open to you for everything. So we have to respect those boundaries. If we really want to see a relationship thrive. And the fourth and last thing I would say is super important is creating a space for vulnerability. This is super important because when you create a space for vulnerability, it does nothing but strengthen the connection between you two. And this is highly important for women to do, to be able to create a space of vulnerability for a man, because women, it's not as hard for them to be vulnerable. Like, they're led by their emotions, where men are more logical, we're more rational, and we don't lead with our emotions. So we're not going to be that open to expressing ourselves naturally. Some are, but I would say, the exception is not the rule. Most of us are not that way. So women have to be really good at creating a space for us, because a lot of men don't want to express themselves because women typically like to weaponize it. Like, if we tell you something that's a vulnerable part to us, women will use it later down the road to hurt you. I'm not saying all do that, but women are more known to do that. Men do it too, but it's seen a lot more on the woman's side, where maybe a man was pillow talking and he was in his feelings and he was expressing something to you. And a couple weeks later from now, when you guys get into a fight, you use it to hurt his feelings. Women are very vindictive like that. And women, they cut deep, so women have to be very good at creating this space where a man feels comfortable to express himself or really show his inner self, so vulnerability, creating that space of vulnerability is highly important because it strengthens the connection between you two. It is highly important for a relationship going the distance. If you can create the emotional intimacy between you two, then he's going to be super attached to you. He's going to trust you. He's going to have a loyalty to you because he's been placed in a space where he can fully peel his onion, peel back his layers. So creating that space for a man is super important for a thriving relationship. If he doesn't have that space of vulnerability, he's going to be very closed off. He's never going to really truly express the way he feels. Everything is going to be surface level, and that is not good for a relationship. So we really have to focus on these things, these building blocks of, creating more trust within the relationship if we want to see our relationship thrive. You know, these things are highly important, building that space of vulnerability, having that transparency, being consistent and living up to your word. These are highly important to seeing a thriving relationship. It's one of the most important things, and it all starts with communication. How well do you guys communicate? Sometimes it's good to, pick a day out of the month and just talk about things that may be bothering you, what someone is doing wrong, and how you want to see them change or fix this issue. It's all about serving each other. If we focus on how can we serve our partner, then we'll have a thriving relationship. It's only when we focus on self, focus on I, not care about our partner's feelings, not care about what our partner wants to see in a relationship, what their love language is. When we don't care about those things, when we don't focus on those things, it's hard to have a lasting relationship. So it all starts with servitude. It all starts with serving. How can I best serve my partner so she feels happier? She feels more secure within this relationship. We both need to focus on making each other feeling secure within what we have. Because the more secure we feel, the less likely we are to leave. We want to stay around if it's a healthy dynamic between us two. And that starts with communication. That starts with focusing on the needs of each other. It can't be a one-way street. The energy and effort has to be placed with both sides. You know, you got to be able to give and receive. That is highly important, but you want to focus more on giving. I focus less on myself. I want to know, like, how can I make my woman happy? What does she like in a man? What does she want to see a man do for her? You would never really have to, worry about any type of issues pertaining to trust if your partner feels fulfilled within a relationship. Now, that's not saying that people don't do stupid things, like still cheat, even though they have the ideal wife or husband. People still do that. But I guess it's about, how do you lower those chances of anything happening? How do you try your best to create a space where your partner feels happy and doesn't feel a need to go outside of what you guys have? I guess that's what it's really about. So focus on building that trust. Focus on strengthening that trust, and it'll strengthen your relationship. It'll give your relationship the ability to go the distance. But I thank you guys for checking out this video. I'm gonna have more content on the way. I hope you guys got some value from this video. Yeah, but I'll catch y'all in the next one. I'm out.